My host today says big ideas that will change the course of history and transmit Nigeria from a third to a first world country. It is possible, he says. Nigeria is in a state of emergency now, and he is coming to rescue it, and that's why he is in the race. Well, hello and welcome. This is 60 Minutes with me, Angela Jetmori. Thank you for joining me on the program today. So, you may or may not know anyone who has said he will be contesting for that presidential election come 2015, but my host today is willing to come out to say that he wants to be president, or is it would like to be president. He's not shy about this ambition. He has even gone on to resign as the founder and administrator of a newspaper that he founded. My campaign will stand on two legs, he says. He will unite Nigeria to form a nation, because in his opinion, we are not yet a nation, and he will stabilize and bring order to the country. Who is he that wants to be president? Born on the 1st of May 1962 in Minna, the capital of today's Niger State, he runs a very popular column every Monday in the leadership newspapers. He says through that column he has established his credentials as a pro-good governance advocate. He is an entrepreneur many times over, a member of the Asian think tank, that's the Global Institute for Tomorrow, based in Hong Kong, an alumnus of the Lee Kuan Yew School of Public Policy of the National University of Singapore. He's also an alumnus of the School of International and Public Affairs of Columbia University in New York, the United States of America. A holder of many traditional titles, in 2011, he was appointed the Kakaki Nupe by the Etsu Nupe, in addition to receiving the Nupe Kingdom Life Achievement Award for entrepreneurship. So, join me after the break. I'm counting down 60 minutes with Sam Nda Isaiah, the publisher of leadership newspapers. Although he has resigned now, he is one Nigerian who says he wants to be president. Welcome back. Welcome, Mr. Nda Isaiah. Thank you very much for coming on 60 Minutes with me today.
Thank you very much.
Now, I was researching you, and I know one of your favorite sayings, know your limits, then ignore it. And I thought, maybe this presidential ambition is one limit you ought to ignore. Isn't it too big for you, considering you've never been in public office? You will be coming directly from the private sector and straight to the presidency. Many people think people like you ought to start small. You know, little chairmanship here, maybe a governor there, before you think about the presidency. What would be your response to them?
No, I don't think so. Starting from the private sector would be starting from another point. I don't think that anybody would have to be in the public sector before you aspire to be president.
Yes.
The fact that almost everybody that has done that came through the public sector, and we can see what Nigeria has become now, I think should be clear that we need a new way to do this thing. So I don't think so at all. And from what I've done, starting something from ground zero and establishing an institution, I actually think that maybe one of the problems that we have had in this country is that we've not had people who have established something and see how things start from zero, from nothing to something.
Yes.
I think that is one of the problems that we have. People just find themselves lucky, they are somewhere.
Reluctantly in there.
Or even lucky, you are somewhere that somebody thinks you should be a senator or maybe House of Assembly first, then Speaker, then House of
Yes.
Reps, then because you have godfathers and you're just pushed, and then you by some stroke of good luck you become president. That's when people now get exposed and the country now suffers for it. So I don't think I don't think that's right to say. I think that the mere fact that I've been a serial entrepreneur qualifies me for the change that we're talking about.
Let's start from your background. You were Deputy Director General of the Buhari organization, and I'm thinking this attempt now, it looks like you are eyeballing General Muhammadu Buhari, who incidentally is also in your party. How do you transform from being the Director General of the Buhari organization into becoming a presidential candidate, an ambition he also seems to have?
Unless if you explain to me, I don't see what I've done wrong in this circumstance. I don't think so.
You don't think it's a clash of interest?
I was the deputy DG in 2003.
Yes.
2003 elections, and because I established the leadership group in 2003 after the election, and since then, of course, I continue to be a member of the TVO.
Yes.
In addition to moving from the MPP to CPC, and now, of course, the CPC has fused with other parties to form the APC. I don't see what is wrong, unless if you explain to me.
Have you told General Buhari, for instance?
He was the first I told. He was the very first person I told that this is what has been happening. I didn't just wake up one day and just decided that I wanted to be the president.
Yes.
This happened through a lot of process, if I would say, or through so many things came into play.
Did you want to be president when you were in the CPC?
No. Of course, there were times that issues came up, and of course I quickly ignored it because, like I keep saying in several other fora,
Yes.
to want to be president of a nation, especially like Nigeria,
Yes.
it's not what anybody should jump at. It's not, as I've said, and some people don't like or don't understand what I mean. I don't even think it's a good job. It's something that will take more than you. It will take more than you. It will change you, especially if you want to do it.
Yes.
Not the way that these people are doing it now. If you really want to be president, that will change the way things are done.
Yes.
That will change the direction of the country, especially I'm talking about big ideas that will change it because of history. So it's not just what has been done before, or that I want to just come and continue what everybody else has been doing. It will not be a simple thing. Actually, this particular one started in 2011 when Buhari said he was not going to contest again.
Yes.
Then, of course, I started getting calls from people who, I belong to the TBO. I'm still a member of the TBO. It started first within the TBO. Well, I can't remember now whether whether it started from the TBO or outside the TBO, but it started with TBO, then several other people outside the country, differently, not that they were
at the same time.
As I said, it's not as if this had not crossed my mind some time ago, but I didn't think that was how I wanted to spend my life. But initially, I was amused. Then it got to a point when I was no longer laughing at all because it was getting more serious, and I knew that this was something I would need to really, really think about, pray about, and really decide whether it's the way I wanted to live.
Yes.
Of course, and when it was clear that I wanted to do it, when it was clear that I saw a clear path to victory, that was when the whole thing came up. And the first person I told was Bode, of course, because I still think we belong to the same tendency. I still see him as a role model. I still see him as somebody that when I become president will still be involved in everything I do. I mean, it's a guy to look up to. He's somebody that actually can even call it to order because he has a moral authority that so many other people that are seniors to me cannot claim to have.
How did he receive the news of your intention to contest?
It, of course. It's a bit very, very well. I told him, apparently I think they had it before, because by the time I decided to do it, it was no longer a secret.
Okay.
Well, for those you know. So by the time I went, he said it was okay. And told me, in fact, to quote him, he said, when people are talking to you like this, I think that you should go ahead.
But his spokesman, Rotimi Fashakin, is still saying that Buhari's presidential desire is on course.
That's right.
You'll meet on the field.
If he's going to contest, he has not said so publicly.
Yes.
But if he's going to contest, yes, then that means that we're going to have the primaries.
Okay.
Because that's what is going to happen. And it will not just be between two of us. So many other people are also going to be in this race. So I think it is beyond just two of us. Because this is something that is bigger than both of us.
Okay. Do you have any godfather?
No.
Political godfather?
I've never had any godfather. In fact, God himself is my godfather. I've never had anyone in everything that I do. And nobody can claim to be. And that's fine. I have no problem with godfathers.
Yes.
It's just that I've never had anyone.
How do you propose to emerge? You know, our history shows that there's always somebody who needs to raise your hand up and say, this is the man to vote for.
I don't think so. You said our history?
Yes, I mean, everyone who has become president, there's always a body of people who will come together and say, this is the person that we want. Who can you say?
A body of people,
yes.
That's not godfatherism. People will have to support you.
Yes.
People will have to, because the presidency of any nation is bigger than just you or even your people. It has to be a kind of consensus, so to say, whether by election or by it has to be some people that will come up and say, yes, we think that this guy can change our country or our states or whatever.
Yes, yes.
So that's not good. Godfatherism, because, for instance, starting from the Second Republic,
yes.
Shekari, I can't remember any godfather that Shekari had. Obasanjo himself, I can't remember that he had a godfather. He was even in prison, so it was worse for him.
Precisely, if he was in prison, if he was in prison, some people must have been responsible for him emerging from prison straight to the presidency.
Anybody that emerges as president some people must be responsible for it's a democracy.
Yes.
You need people, big and small, and everybody in between. So you need people. I thought you said godfather.
Yes.
If it's people, that's fine.
Okay, but
that's not godfatherism.
Not one person.
No, one person can't make you president. It's not possible.
In Nigeria.
Even if you want to carry out a coup.
Yes.
A military coup. It's not just you waking up one day and taking a gun and wanting to. That would be madness. That's not. It's not so. It's not. One person can't make you president, and I don't intend to make one person. Nobody is that big in this country.
So you don't have a godfather.
No.
You are in a party, the All Progressives Congress, and whether rightly or wrongly, that party is viewed as a Muslim party. And you being a Christian, I'm just wondering how realizable under that platform is that ambition.
What is some people? I mean, how can you? I'm a Christian.
Yes.
So if it's a Muslim party, so what am I doing there? It's not true. Of course, that came from the PDP.
Yes.
What do you expect the PDP to say? PDP cannot say today that they've achieved anything. So far, what the PDP has been doing is to say this party is a Muslim party, or this person is a Christian, or this person is a this, and they think that the Nigerians are foolish enough to take that. No. If it's a Muslim party, what are we doing with a Christian chairman? I'm a Christian, and so far I think I'm the first to have declared that I want to contest for the presidency. Anybody can say what he likes. Some people even among them said that the party is even Boko Haram. So Nigerians want to hear how we are going to change everything every mess that the PDP has created. If anybody can think that just by calling Mr. X Boko Haram, then we can continue with this mess that is going on. I don't think so.
Are you underestimating the perception out there that the APC is a Boko Haram party?
No, it's not even a perception. It is something that the PDP people have been saying. And even within the PDP, if I can remember, just a few of them there that have been made spokespersons, because they're ready to say it. That is not what we should be saying at this point. And that's what is happening now. There's a spike in the use of religion, in politics. And I want to say at this point that this is very, very, very dangerous because you cannot be leading a country and be dividing people along those lines. That's dangerous. Let us tell Nigerians how we are going to take them out of the mess that we're in now. It has never been this bad.
That's what you all say. Every opposition person says it has never been this bad.
You don't believe it?
No, if you speak to the ordinary man on the street, many of them would say to me, what have the others done, all the other presidents done, that President Goodluck Jonathan hasn't done? People say that he has really performed, the ordinary man on the street.
If you notice how I'm looking at you, I wonder
yes. These are my viewers writing to me saying none of the former presidents in this country have done as well, given the circumstances, the insecurity in the country that has not allowed him to fully govern.
The circumstance has not allowed him to govern
fully as he would have.
But
under those circumstances, he has been able to achieve something.
Like what?
The railways, the trains are back after 30 years. The trains may be slow.
Which trains?
But the trains are moving.
Where?
They are moving. I've been to Ido myself. I've spoken to people employed at the Ido station telling me that they never had it so good in 30 years.
Please, let us not take the Nigerian situation so lightly.
Yes.
There is a rescuing that needs to be done, please. Nigeria is a failed state. We should not turn this thing to a joke.
How can you call it a failed state?
I can tell you why
I want to rule.
Yeah, because I'm trying to correct it. We're lucky that because of our size and our resources, it is reversible. And this has to be reversed very quickly. Because we can get to a point where we become like Somalia, that it can no longer be reversible. It is still reversible at this point. A country where 300 girls can be abducted. And I'm sure that it will soon enter the Guinness Book of Records, because that has never happened before. About, I think, 200 and 7 something, and 100 young boys were abducted, and they were rescued by Chadians. And that's what the first state. The duty of any government in the world, whether you are a monarchy or a democracy or whatever, is the protection of the citizens of your country.
Yes, but
if you cannot do that, then you fail first as a government. Any country that cannot protect its citizens, we can't even protect our children.
Yes, but terrorism is not unique to Nigeria. How did America protect its citizens during 9/11? You can't protect everything.
Yeah, but after happening, America, Britain, Indonesia, even Kenya, after the attack on the mall, you can hear these things once, but how many times do they happen? Since after 9/11, tell me any major attack that has happened on American soil. After the one that happened in London, I think in 2010 or so. Is it 2010? Tell me how many times. In Abuja, the capital, in one location, Yanya, we have had 2 terrorist attacks in 2 weeks. And as many others as you can still remember. Of course, you don't talk about Maiduguri again, that it happens every day. You can't say that this has been happening. Yes, it has been happening, but how many times? You can, yeah, things can happen. But where there is a government, it must not happen again. That's why it's a first state. I'm not happy that we've got it to this point.
Yes.
Ghana is even threatening, in quote, to send us troops. Ghana, don't forget that we saved Liberia, we saved Sierra Leone, we saved many southern African countries. Now, we have smaller countries promising to come and save us.
Okay.
This has not happened before.
We'll take our first break now. When we come back, let's start off from the point that these challenges, the rot that you talk about, it didn't start overnight, and it didn't start within this administration's tenure. You know, people will say these things have been there. You can't expect them to be corrected overnight. So join us again after the break.
I want to present myself as an African.
And I know, and I know, and I know, and I know.
I know what you like.
I know, and I know, and I know.
I know what you like.
Everything you love,
Baby, you love.
like.
Baby, you love. Baby, you love.
And I know, 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 and I know.
Baby, you like ho. Baby, you like ho. Baby, you like ho. Baby, you like ho. Baby, you like.
Who knows I be better thing? Abi who no like better thing? All these fine things wey dey see so. Na money government dey take do am now. Abi, as in, it's like, I mean, excuse me, I dey pay my tax. I dey do wetin? I dey pay my tax. Say you don't pay your own tax. Have you pay your tax?
Pay your tax. It's your civic responsibility. It's your duty. It's the law.
Welcome back. If you've just joined us, it's 60 Minutes with me, Angela Ajitumobi. On my hot seat today, Sam Nda Isaiah of the All Progressives Congress, APC, the only Northern Christian candidate for the presidential elections in 2015. Now, before we went on the break, you talked about Nigeria being a failed state and the supposed inability of this administration to be able to repair things. And I'm looking at the rot that's setting over so many years. You can't expect one person to stop or erase all that rot within three and a half years. Years of neglect. Years and years of neglect.
So why did he come? Why do you want to be president if not to come and repair things? I mean,
he's repairing things. The pace may be slow.
No, he's not repairing anything. Yes, I agree with you that they wrote this statute today. I complained probably more than any other person when Obasanjo was there. You cannot compare the kind of rot we see now with what happened. I will never say, I mean, people who know me well, they actually accuse me of probably an overkill with Obasanjo, even though I still don't agree, because we can still hold him responsible for the emergence of this government. But the kind of thing that we see these days, the kind of corruption that we hear, that everybody on the streets hear, I mean, the kind of impunity that we see,
yes,
the kind of total lack of competence to save the people. We never had it like this before. And this year is even worse than last year. Last year is worse than previous year. So you can't say anybody's doing anything.
I mean,
so to say that
yes,
somebody is trying to repeat, it's not true. It's there for everybody.
How can you say it is worse this year from last year? I mean, what are the parameters you are basing these assertions on?
When was the last time that you had in any country that is it 2 trillion naira was taken for subsidy? In the history of this country, this is not the first time this is not the first government to talk about subsidies. It has never happened. On a budget of 240 or 280 billion naira,
yes,
you take 2 trillion and there are no consequences?
Well, they will say that, people like you on the outside will say these sort of things. There are some things in government, when you get there, if you get there as president, you will find that there's a bureaucracy in place. See, it's very difficult to fight.
What differentiates democracy from all forms of government,
yes,
is the rule of law. If the system were working well, there is no way a president will not be removed from office. Their impeachment that is in the constitution for spending 2 trillion naira on an allocation or a budget of 280 billion, it will never happen. And it will never happen anywhere in the world where it is called a democracy. And by the way, this has not even happened under any military. Let us not escape from it. It gets worse every day. I mean, you just said that some Nigerians are saying that things are better, unless if you've been talking to sadists. Unless they are aliens, they are not Nigerians. We say that things are better now than they used to be.
Yes, I mean, look at the aviation sector. If you've been traveling in the last 3 years, you can't but see that the airports are improved. Yes, some people will say some shoddy materials may have been used, but generally speaking, the airports look better.
But you just asserted yourself, you said some shoddy materials.
Some people will argue.
You see, the problem that
some people will argue.
Some people actually argue that, I don't know where they live, that the light situation
is better.
I'm supposed to hear that. Even the government is not saying that. Because the megawatts that we produce now is less than when they came. Even they are not saying so. But if it's true that some people are saying that electricity is better, then they must be sadists. Because even the government can't claim so. Because and I don't think that Nigerians are sadists. No, they are not. Nobody will ever say that things are better. No. Maybe you are saying this for the purpose of this interview, but I've not met anyone who said, probably those who live in Azorok, it's possible, or those are part of this whole mess. Nobody will ever never say that in this country. Even those in the PDP, all they say is that it is because some people don't like the president, that they're not allowing him to work. Some people are killing themselves because they don't like the president. That's the lot that they say. They don't send anybody, or well, unless of course, if you've been following those who are comparing him with Lee Kuan Yew and Mandela, then in that case, I have no answer to give you.
I've heard it said somewhere that you are the vote splitter. The APC intends you to split the Christian votes that would ordinarily go to the incumbent if he seeks re-election.
Okay, the APC, which means that I'm now the candidate of the APC.
Well, they are eyeing you,
As
the
his
APC,
candidate.
yes, as his candidate, if that will split the Christian votes.
Oh, you are okay. You are now telling me, because I don't know, that the Christians have decided to vote for Jonathan. For what purpose? Because their churches are being bombed. That's why Christians are going to vote for him, or that the Chibok girls who are mainly Christians, or about 70% Christians, have not been back. That's why Christians
But
are going to vote for him.
it depends on if you believe that the Chibok girls were really missing.
I see. I have no answer to give you on that.
If you don't believe the Chibok girls are missing, if you're of that school of thought,
That the girls may not be missing.
yes.
I think some people really think that the whole of this country is in a kind of Nollywood movie. So they just say what they like and just think that's all. The level of impunity and the level of lies that we see, to the extent of comparing Jonathan with Lee Kuan Yew and with Mandela. You know, I know that some people are angry. I'm not even angry. I'm amazed that some people can really go this far, and that the Chibok girls are not missing. Yes, I agree with you. In fact, the first statement that the government made was that first they lied that the girls were found. Then secondly, they came to say that the girls were not missing. When that didn't fly, they started to intimate those that were campaigning that the girls should be found, that they should stop even saying it. Then we now heard that the president has retained a PR company in the US, or is it in the UK, called Levic, paid him heavily to do some PR work for him, instead of giving that kind of money to go and buy the weapons and resources that feed the girls. That's the kind of thing that we've been lying. You just talk now about railways. Did you see the kind of railways that other African countries have? I'm talking of smaller African countries. We're the biggest economy in Africa. Have you seen the kind of, I've seen the railways in South Africa. Go to other countries and see railways. Not this. This one you are saying, this railway, you are saying that you went to Ibut. This is what we should keep in our museums. You go to other countries. These are the kind of coaches and engines that they are claiming to have. They should be in our museums. Why? I've not seen this level of lies. And this is not what people, we can see it. We can see the number of people killed every day.
Your column of Monday, August 18th, 2014, you talked about poor leadership separating Nigeria from other developed nations. You also talked about, you took out President Jonathan on a couple of issues. First, corruption and stealing. The president had tried to make that distinction between corruption and stealing. What was wrong with that distinction?
I don't know, unless you tell me. I don't know the difference between corruption and stealing.
Yes,
and
if a person
stuff.
steals, you know, it's outright stealing, lumping everything according to the president's argument as corruption. In fact, it seems to make it glossy, rather than just call it the outright stealing that it is.
But what is even the purpose of trying to make a distinction? What is the purpose?
The purpose is probably to show that a thief is a thief is a thief. Don't use corruption to make it sound like it's lesser than stealing. It is outright
so
stealing.
what do we have under this government? Is it stealing or corruption that we have? We have a serious problem in this country that we need to solve immediately if we still want to have a country. If we still want to have a country that we can live for our children.
Yes.
Because this is not the kind of country that you and I grew in. We shouldn't lie, but we shouldn't. Some things are actually beyond politics. We shouldn't play politics with the life of the nation. And what has caused this problem is mainly corruption. Of course, there is the issue of incompetence, but that also, incompetence probably led to this level of corruption or stealing, I mean, whatever you call it.
Yes.
But there is need for us to reverse the trajectory as quickly as we can before it gets intractable. Because now we still have the chance to reverse our misfortune.
Yes.
Like I said, Nigeria is a failed state, but our fortune is that because of our size, because of our resources, both human and material, we are still able to reverse it.
Yes.
We need to reverse it quickly, and we need a leadership to do it. Clearly, I mean, if anybody thinks that this present administration will do it, then of course we should let Nigerians to decide. Of course, I know that election to some people means rigging and manipulating process, but let's wait to see whether Nigerians are going to defend themselves next year, or they will just allow anyone to manipulate it and, like they did before.
You don't think the electoral process is almost perfect now? We've seen 2 major elections, Ekiti and Osun State. You don't think we've improved?
Did you use the word perfect?
Yes.
You see, my problem with what we have is what it takes to win an election in this country if you don't belong to the party of the president. That is why I have said it that this is not democracy. In fact, it is only in Nigerian democracy that you hear that you are advised as an opposition to protect your vote. And still don't know what that means. At times, it actually means violence.
Yes.
And if I have to protect my vote to be declared a winner, then there's nothing to rejoice about. And you use the word perfect. We've already started. The elections of '99 were by far better than the elections in 2003. 2003 elections were better than 2007. In fact, 2007 there were no elections. 2011, if you are on ground, you know that in many states there were no elections at all.
In the real sense of the word.
Yes, if you're on ground, not just what a few people will say, and most of these people who say it belong to the presidency. Anyway, so, I mean, nobody even expects things to change overnight, as you said. No, but we need to see improvements. In the real sense of it, I need to go into an election today in a new party that doesn't belong to, I don't have to be in the party of the governor or the president, and convince people to vote for me, and they vote for me, and the votes count. Not that I'll be advised to protect my vote.
Okay, join us again after the break.
I want to present myself as an African.
And I know, and I know, and I know, and I know.
I know what you like.
I know, and I know, and I know.
I know what you like.
Everything you love,
Baby, you love.
like,
Baby, you love. Baby, you love.
and I know, 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 and I know.
Baby, you like ho. Baby, you like ho. Baby, you like ho. Baby, you like ho. Baby, you love ho.
Welcome back. My concluding moments now with Sam Nda Isaiah. You've talked about, the advice to protect your votes and all that. Why don't people like you join a lesser known party? For instance, like the Labour Party. If you really believe in this ambition and you believe you have something to sell, don't go with the APC. Don't go with the PDP. Test your popularity in a party such as, the Labour Party, for instance.
If I want to be president, in fact, it's a record that I was probably the first person to start saying that all opposition parties must come together to be able to form that platform that can win national elections. If I want to be president, just like if you are in the United States and you want to be president, you don't go to join the parties that both of us don't know.
The Green
you have
Party,
to join either the Republican Party or the Democratic Party. If you want to be prime minister in in the UK. You don't go to the smaller ones. You go to the ones with platforms big enough for such a project. So if I want to be president, I shouldn't go to the Labour Party or to UPN, the party that was formed yesterday. You know, and I don't mean this negatively. It's just that's how it's done everywhere. I am probably the one that started this whole thing that all opposition parties should come together. I talked to Buhari about it from the beginning, spoke to Tinubu about it from the beginning a long time ago, spoke to many of the governors, and I believe that is the only way it can be done. And of course, from the first day that the APC was registered, the game changed.
Yes.
You could see, and not just because of somebody's popularity. I think that is how it is. That's the nature of power. You need a platform strong enough to accommodate everybody, you know, going in one direction.
Do you think your party, the APC, is strong enough to beat PDP in 2015?
Well, of course, if the elections are fair, I don't think that the PDP has a chance, because there's no reason,
even with the power of incumbency?
But there is no reason why the PDP should win. People are desperate to have a break. They want to see a change of direction. And if it's a democracy, it's not the same people that are going to vote.
Yes, but people also say that all the politicians are the same, both PDP politicians and APC politicians. And many will look at the whole situation and say, let's stick with the devil that we know. At least if all of you are the same, why change this formula that we have on the ground?
No. This devil is going to kill you. So there is no point. If it is true that that's what people are saying, or the two are the same, for the sake of their lives, let's try this other one that is the same to see whether we'll be saved. Because nobody wants to stick with this devil, in quotes.
Yes.
Because there is a serious problem of survival now on ground. People are using the word rescue now, you know. So it's not, and they're not being used lightly. I don't even believe that the two parties are the same. No, they're not the same. You can't tell me that what you see in states like Lagos, like Kano,
you also see Akwa Ibom, you also see good governance there.
Yes, there are projects there. Like, there's good government.
There's good government in Delta State.
In Delta, I totally agree. But maybe they shouldn't be in the PDP. Because I do not believe that anyone wants to continue like this, even the majority of those in the PDP. What I think that the PDP people will want, if you give them a choice, is to field another candidate. But given the nature of the PDP, I think that is not going to happen. We are going to be happy in the APC to have Jonathan as the PDP candidate, because he has split the nation, he has messed up everything. The man himself is a good man. I've met him.
You've met the president?
I've met him many times. Jonathan is not a bad person. He's not a mean guy.
Yes.
He's not. He's not at all. He's not. But he should not be president. That is not a job cut out for him.
Yes, but all he has to do is surround himself with the people who can deliver. If you want to blame anyone, you've said now, he's a good guy. Shouldn't we be blaming his ministers who have been unable to do and deliver the dividends to Nigerians?
We didn't elect the ministers. We didn't elect those around him. If you decide to be around those that are stealing oil, those that are stealing oil subsidy, those that are stealing, probably nobody has told us where all the money that they are using now in his 2015 election, nobody has told us where it came from. So I would safely assume that it came from those people.
Yes.
And then you are trying to absorb him. No, when there is a crime, if you are a recipient of stolen goods, there's a law, even in this country, for that kind of thing. So I don't think so. I don't agree.
Yeah, and your chances now, your real chances within the APC, do you think you will have free and fair opportunity to really challenge for this presidential seat? Can anyone emerge in that APC without selection, as the former ACN used to be known for?
Exactly. You have said it. ACN is just a component of APC. The CPC is also just a component. There's also a part of ABGA and the ANPP. The APC, nobody is big enough in the APC to impose candidates. So there must be free and fair primaries. If it will be a consensus, then it will be a real consensus. Not consensus where you force some people to step down. That's what is going to happen in the APC. Yeah. And I mean, if anybody tells you anything else, well, we'll see. But the thing I say is that for you to be able to impose candidates, then there must be one central guy who is big enough to overshadow everybody. There's no such person in the APC.
So the perception out there about the APC being still under or inside the pocket of one man, you think it's not there?
I don't know that. One man?
Yes.
No. We have people in states or maybe in regions that are leaders. And even as leaders, they don't sway everybody. And all those that are called leaders now in the parties have problems in their states. Because there's a people that rightly or wrongly don't accept them. This is not CPC or the ACN or the ANPP, you know. So the APC doesn't have such people anymore. APC is a big party. That was why, like I told you, yes, I was advocating the coming together of all the parties. Is in the smaller parties, yes, that would have been possible, yes, but not in a big party like the APC.
Do you know of anyone else in the APC who intends to contest this presidential seat?
So far, I think I'm the only one that has been out publicly in both parties, not just the APC, including the PDP. Of course, we know that the president intends to. I don't know what he's afraid of. Recently, they rented people everywhere to come and beg the president to contest. Well, that is not my style. That's why I'm different. I don't know why they are begging him with billions of naira. You know,
and that's why I asked you earlier on how you think you will become president when no one is earnestly asking for you. That's the way we operate here.
No, I don't rent crowds. I want Nigerians and the party to vote for me. And the only way to genuinely remove an incumbent in this country is for Nigerians themselves to decide that they want to remove that government. And if they mean it, and when Nigerians come together, and I don't mean, I'm not contesting, for instance, for only APC people to vote for me as president. No, I want to mobilize the whole country. And by the time that happens, nobody can stop the people. So if you rent people, if you pay people to come out, if you rent them for 24 hours, I'm sure they check the time. Once it's 24 hours, you need to put more credits, or else they will cut it off and move on to the next guy who is ready to pay.
Yes.
And that's not how we are good, and that is what has led us to a current situation where parts of our country are now being controlled by hoodlums.
And what is your opinion on Boko Haram? Do you support amnesty for Boko Haram?
I have never supported amnesty for criminal organizations, starting from the Niger Delta amnesty. If you follow me from the one I was against, I am for a Marshall Plan for certain parts of the country. I mean, I totally agree that the Niger Delta area has been neglected,
yes,
not just by the federal government, by those that are getting 30% derivation by the NDDC and by the Niger Delta Ministry,
yes,
and that we need strong leadership to reverse it.
Do you also agree?
I've never agreed that anybody, because he's carrying arms and killing people, you should now. We need competent leadership to solve the problem of our country. Not amnesty. What has the amnesty to Niger Delta people done for this country, apart from creating billionaires with private jets now who are still threatening us that if we don't do what they want, they will kill everybody.
They're giving them a lot of scholarships, though. The amnesty program has helped to train a lot of...
They should give all Nigerians scholarship, not just who threaten you with God. Nigerians need this scholarship. Nigerians, indigent people, they need to be helped. They are the ones that need this amnesty. Not because you're able to carry arms and kill a few people. Nobody's even talking about amnesty to the families of those that have been killed. We're not discussing amnesty to them. Until weeks ago, when the president created the Dajuma committee also and brought in a few people to raise money principally for the private sector, not even the money from the government. Nobody is even talking about the families of those that have been killed, both by the Niger Delta militants and Boko Haram. We have been talking about amnesty to Boko Haram, amnesty to why would they give amnesty to also the armed robbers and those that are kidnapping?
What next? You know, I know that the parties should have their primaries by October, or candidates should
October
emerge.
or November. I think by November, APC should finish the presidential primaries by November.
Yes.
And I think that the national convention would be in December.
Okay.
But that has not been agreed upon yet. These are the kind of things that have been discussed now.
And I will pass on any comments from the viewers to you as well after this. You can like 60 Minutes with Angela on Facebook. Alternatively, you can follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to watch this program and all the past episodes of the program on our YouTube channel. That's www.youtube.com/TEDTV60. That's youtube.com/TEDTV60. I'm Angela Ajitumobi. Thank you for watching.